Let's lock in. The Eagles sitting Saquon Barkley when he has the opportunity to break the single season rushing record is a slap in the face to Eagle fans and NFL fans everywhere. Now, there's been some controversy this week because Eric Dickerson, the current record holder, doesn't want Saquon Barkley to break his record. And he's even highlighted that Saquon Barkley would have needed more games to break his record because he would have done it in fewer games, one game fewer than Saquon Barkley. However, there are people who are saying like you're being hypocritical because the record was held by O.J. Simpson and you needed one more game than O.J. Simpson to break the record. Actually, I'm going to show you this, and then I'll get into why this is a slap in the face to the fans and why this type of behavior needs to stop. Actually, let me start with Shady McCoy. So LaShawn McCoy is a former NFL running back, and he was a talented, very good running back in his time. And he wants to see Saquon Barkley break the record. Here's what he had to say about Saquon Barkley breaking the record and the current record holder, Eric Dickerson, not wanting to see Saquon Barkley break his record.
Straight shout out to Saquon Barkley for getting 2,000 yards and potentially breaking Eric Dickerson's record for 2,100 yards. It's been held for about 40 to 50 years. You know, as a running back, we want to encourage the next running backs. It's all about generation. And I think it went from Eric Dickerson, now it's going to go to Saquon Barkley. But Eric Dickerson, you don't feel the same way I feel. I know you can hear me, but can you see me? Okay. Now, you talked about how Saquon Barkley should get a star behind this record if he breaks it because it took him an extra game. So I did my homework because I love my running backs, my old heads and my young bulls. You the old head, Saquon's a young bull. And I seen that O.J. Simpson, the juice, who I love his game, he had the record in 14 games, but you broke it in 15 games. So you had an extra game to break it, like Saquon has an extra game to break it. My point is this, man. Uplift the young dudes because records are meant to be broken. You paved the way for guys like Saquon to break the record. It's going to be a young kid, I don't know, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, it's going to break Saquon's record. As running backs, we got to stick together because they always trying to break us down. Eric Dickerson, you should do better, home. Stop the hating and more applauding. Saquon, get that record. Stop playing. That's
LaShawn McCoy's take on it. Shady McCoy is a former running back, and he's like, yo, I want to see greatness at the running back position. I want to see the young guys surpass what we've done. And Eric Dickerson responded to this. Here's what Eric Dickerson had to say.
Brother, know your football. First of all, it's Eric Dickerson. I love running backs. I'm a running back. My favorite player was O.J. Simpson. I've always said O.J. did it in 14 games. I did it in 15, one extra game. I would never hate on another running back. That's not me. So, like I said, know your history about running backs. Of course, if he broke the record, brother, I ain't going to lose no sleep over that. But am I cheering for somebody to break my record? No, I'm not. I don't think anybody does. If you have a record and you want somebody to break it, that's on you. I'm different. I'm old school. You know how hard it is to get a record? Very hard. I'm a Saquon Barkley fan. I never thought he'd reach his full potential in New York. I'm glad to see him in Philadelphia. I'm glad to see him get 2,000 yards. So don't say I'm hating on running backs. If you know your history, look up what I said about O.J. O.J. had it in 14. I did it in 15. That's why I played the running back position. So I'm just replying to your so-called diss of me. So, brother.
Now, here's my take on it. Am I upset that Eric Dickerson doesn't want to see Saquon Barkley break his record? No, I'm not. At least he's being honest about it. You have some people who would front or say, yeah, I don't mind, or pretend like they support the record being broken. He's being honest. He doesn't want to see it broken, and I don't have a problem with that. My problem is with Saquon Barkley not attempting to break the record. Saquon Barkley needs 101 yards to break the record, and that's well within his grasp the way he's been playing this season. This has been a phenomenal season, one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen a running back have. Now, the reason why I think this is a slap in the face to the fans is think of all the Eagle fans who've been supporting the team, buying the tickets, paying to see Saquon Barkley run, and experiencing this magical season live. This could be a historic season. The game would be extremely meaningful for the fact that there's history on the line, not just for Saquon Barkley, but for the Eagles franchise. Currently, the NFL record is held by a running back who played for the Rams. The record would now be held by a running back who played for the Eagles. That would be significant history for the Eagles organization. It will be significant history for the Eagles fans. It would cap off a season in which Saquon Barkley, a running back who New York Giants gave up on, went to a division rival and actually set the NFL single season rushing record. It would be magnificent. And they're taking that opportunity away from the fans and for those who love this game by sitting Saquon Barkley. You know how many eyes would be on that game? That would be one of the highest rated games. That would be a game that people would be emotionally invested in just for the moment, as long as that game lasts. Even if Saquon Barkley came up short, as long as he gave it a good go, every time he touched the ball, people would be holding their breath. You're robbing everyone of that experience. You're making it easy for Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson already admitted he doesn't want the record to be broken. And before he goes to bed tonight, he already knows that it's not going to be broken because you're not even going to give Saquon Barkley a chance. You should make Eric Dickerson afraid. You should have everyone on the edge of their seats. That was what the sport is about. This is the game people want to see. And you're sitting Saquon, killing your own sport, killing the game. Disappointing all the Eagles fans who supported, disappointing all the historians and all the historians who watch the game, love the game, and love to see records fall. Disappointing some of the former running backs like LaShawn McCoy, and I think even J.K. Dobbins, I believe is his name, the running back from the Chargers, the team they're playing, I believe he's even saying like, yo, I want to see Saquon break the record too. People want to see Saquon break the record, but his team isn't going to play him. They're going to rest him. This is the problem with the sport nowadays. And for those saying, "Oh, he really wouldn't get the record because it took more games," that's just ridiculous. Because as it's already been pointed out, Eric Dickerson needed an extra game. He needed an extra game. Otherwise, just give the record back to the juice. Everyone's going to know it took an extra game. But let's not be crazy. The game's evolved. It's a different time. You're talking about Saquon Barkley putting up these type of numbers in an era when the running back is a lost form. Running backs don't put up those type of numbers anymore. They don't have workhorse running backs like they used to. Saquon is being a workhorse running back in an era where it's rare you see that. Most teams got a 2 running back tandem, 2 running back system. This guy is being a workhorse in a different era. The running back situation is a lot different in today's game than it was back then. And there are other things to consider. And I haven't done the research on it. But how many carries did it take Eric Dickerson to get to his number in comparison to Saquon Barkley? How many receiving yards did Eric Dickerson have in comparison to Saquon Barkley? How many touchdowns did he have? There are other factors that go into whether or not, who had the better season. And to be quite fair and quite frank, like Barry Sanders is the most electrifying running back I've ever seen in my life. He retired early. So all these records and all these things that people are talking about, Barry retired early. Who knows what Barry could have done? If you ask a lot of people who's the greatest running back of all time, some will say Barry Sanders, some will say Jim Brown, some will say Walter Payton. I rarely hear anyone say Eric Dickerson. So even with the record, it's not like people are saying Eric Dickerson is the greatest running back of all time. He just had the most yards in a single season. And to be honest with you, if Saquon continues his tear on the league like he's been having, I mean, he may surpass Eric Dickerson too. And this isn't to say that Eric Dickerson isn't a great running back, but it's just to say there's more to your greatness than just the single season rushing record. And it's a slap in the face to everyone who supports the NFL, especially the Eagles fans. The Eagles organization, I don't know how they're even allowing this to happen. You could have the leading single season record for your franchise. And you're just going to be like, okay, sit Saquon. Now it's Super Bowl or bust. Because if you don't win the Super Bowl, you threw away the most significant thing that you could have accomplished this season. And that's why I'm hoping sometime between this video coming out, I hope this is a moot point. But based on everything I've seen, they're saying Saquon isn't even going to go for the record. What a way to shoot your own product in the foot. You done plexicode your own product. You done took away a game that would have been highly rated, everyone watching, holding their breath, heavy anticipation, ED with a bottle of E40. Well, E40 is a rapper. I mean, A40. You know what I mean? But my point is, he said he wouldn't lose no sleep over it. If you wouldn't lose no sleep over it, you wouldn't care. I think most people would hope that the game is elevated. Like you do your job, you carry the game as far as you can, and then you pass it along to the younger generation and hope they carry the game even further. Because without them doing that, your record won't matter if nobody cares about the NFL. But that's a completely different story. And to be honest with you, see what's happening with the NBA? People are going to stop caring about the NFL like people are starting to stop caring about the NBA who rest their players and do all this stuff. If you're not going to even allow a player to play to break a record. So be careful, NFL, because your ratings and what you're doing could be on the hot seat next. People want to see records be broken. Records were made to be broken. Forget that whole star stuff because ED wouldn't have had it if he didn't have an extra game. So it's the pot calling the kettle black on this one. But I'm upset that I'm not going to have the opportunity to at least see Saquon attempt to make history because I was rooting for him. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. It's Caden. I'm out. Peace.